The Trump just buy Bitcoin. The Jim Cramer of, well, it is Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer thinks that Trump did. And we have some potential on-chain metrics and statistics that prove Jim Cramer right. If that is the case, and the U.S. government comes out and admits that they did buy Bitcoin for the strategic reserve at $60,000, what will that do? Will that officially begin the Bitcoin arms race? We'll talk about that. The Super Bowl just ended. Coinbase, great commercial. Not really. Also, perpetual futures trading. Hyperliquid has been on fire. It's been one of the only altcoins, if not the only altcoin, that has not gotten completely obliterated. There is another crypto project that is best known for RWAs that's entering into the perpetual futures trading space. Will that move the needle on this coin, and is it currently undervalued? We're going to talk about that and much, much more on today. Oh, also, Michael Saylor bought more Bitcoin. Guess what price? We'll talk about that. Gina, roll the intro.
Hola! It's ya boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Lost a lot of money on Super Bowl. Crypto channel.
Dumbass bet the Patriots.
My dumbass went to the casino and was like, I'm taking full advantage of these prop bets.
You lost every one of them?
I won the coin toss.
What did you bet? Don't give him a clap. That's terrible. It's a 50-50. My kid can win the coin toss. Anyways, what prop bets would you take?
Oh man, I did all kinds of different ones. Like the squares that you do usually for like I did a few of those. I took the under plus the Patriots with the points.
The under hit, right? 46 and a half.
But parlayed it with the Patriots winning.
Yeah.
A lot of other stuff.
Yeah, it's okay.
People to score touchdowns, and it all blew up, man.
Yeah. At least Coinbase had a really good commercial. That was so bad.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
I can't even play it because the music's copywritten. But I was like watching. I was like, what is this, bro? Like, Backstreet Boys. I'm like, okay. And then at the end, it's like Coinbase. I'm like, what? And it's funny because I posted this on our X handle. So first, of course, I had to just say, what the F was that Coinbase commercial? This is my post here. And then I followed it up with, and I kept seeing on every single, not every single, but a lot of the big accounts on X. That was the best Super Bowl ad ever by a crypto company. That was so good. That was so good. Then I posted this. I said, now I know why that Coinbase commercial was so low budget. Because they had to spend 10 times the amount of money they spent on the actual ad on paying the X accounts to post how incredible it was. And so Berkey said David just mad it made him fangirl like the 90s, potentially. But, the game was kind of whack. The Seahawks completely dominated the Patriots. Brennan's been saying Drake May is a fraud for God knows how long. He had a couple nice plays, but the guy just wasn't. I don't know. I haven't really followed a lot of football, but maybe the Seahawks defense was that good. Maybe he just sucks. I don't know. But yeah, here we are. Now, the big news over the weekend, outside of the Super Bowl, of course, was Jim Cramer. And Jim Cramer, not in necessarily a bad way. Every time we talk about Jim Cramer, we're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a kiss of death, or he's a bottom signal. This was very interesting. This is a video. He was on CNBC. And, well, take a listen to this. We're going to watch this video. Jim Cramer on CNBC. And in this video, they spliced in some B-roll so you can kind of follow along on some of the on-chain metrics and whatnot that I kind of discussed. Take a listen.
Do you think that the president is going to fill the Bitcoin reserve?
I don't know. That will
that's
be
what I heard
big
at 60.
Deal.
I heard at 60 he's going to fill the Bitcoin reserve. You better cover.
Do you think that Trump is serious about creating this Bitcoin reserve, and how would that work?
I think he is. And, you know, if you think about the Louisiana Purchase, California, and Alaska, we paid $40 million to buy 75% of the United States. Nobody remembers the $40 million. But if you know where the money's going, you should buy the property, buy the future.
So you saw that, right? Jim Cramer saying he believes they bought at 60K. There's been no official announcement. So the White House or Trump or anyone hasn't really confirmed that this indeed did happen. But we saw that picture with Saylor at a Trump family event. Interesting. Jim Cramer comes out and says they bought at 60K. Also very interesting. And then what they showed in Michael Saylor's clip was, obviously, you saw Bitcoin's price was 106,000. So that was a while ago. But I don't know, Rob, if we're strictly speculating here, what are the odds that the U.S. government did pull the plug? Because, Rob, the bounce we saw at 60K was a massive one, right? I think it was right here. This was a $60,000 or $59,961 wick that ended up turning the candle green. From the wick low to the first stop, we rallied 20% in less than a day off of the sub $60,000 Bitcoin. Rob, this either points to a lot of medium or kind of like semi-large whales buying or one large entity pulling the trigger on a massive buy order. What are your thoughts on what Jim Cramer said as far as the U.S. government buying BTC? And you think it's highly likely, or what do you think?
The U.S. government, I don't know, man. You know, Scott Bessent was testifying recently, and this was last week.
This was very recent.
So last week, and he's obviously someone that has a pulse on the U.S. buying and the Bitcoin strategy. And he said that they weren't going, or confirmed that they weren't going to buy any Bitcoin if it incurred any, if it came from tax, you know, if it came from tax money. So they weren't going to buy any Bitcoin that came from taxpayer money.
No, they got a lot of tariff money.
But he also said that it was all the Bitcoin has been acquired through seizures and forfeitures. And so if they're saying they bought at $60,000, then I don't think he would say that. Right? I mean, why would he testify under oath and say we've acquired only through forfeitures and
But
seizures?
that was before the price dropped to 60. So it could have very well happened after his hearing.
Was it?
Yeah. Bitcoin dropped to sub 60K on Thursday.
When did he testify?
When was Scott Bessent's most recent hearing? February 4th, where he faced questions from the House Financial Services Committee. So a day before Bitcoin dropped. I mean, we're speculating, of course, right?
For me, like this, I don't see any reason they would buy at this particular moment. And even if they did, they would be purchasing this OTC from an exchange. It would have zero impact on order books. I mean, what we saw was Bitcoin was just oversold. It was at a discounted premium for people that have been looking to get into Bitcoin.
And then the Coinbase premium got up.
It was $90,000 on January 28th. And so from the $90,000 point to it dropped down to $60,000. So we bled off 30% of Bitcoin's price in 7 days. And so it's just the market was going to bounce. We were talking about it after when it got down to 60,000. You were asking me the direction I thought. I was like, this is going to definitely bounce right here. Now, the bounce is a little stronger than I thought it was. I thought it was going to bounce to like 68. I thought it was going to hang out there, 67, 68. But here we are, 70,000. So,
well, there's one person on this channel who I think I nailed this to the T. Take a look at this. So this posted on February 7th, okay, at 3:05 p.m. Getting ready to put in a long on Bitcoin once the daily closes. 1 hour short trigger wave might take us down to 68.7K and then a rally up to potentially 71.5 to 72K. Well, take a look at this. This is Bitcoin on the hourly. Here is, let me drop a vertical here. February 7th at 3 p.m. There it is. Well, I'll move it to the left. So to the right of it. And what is that low there?
I don't know. Can't see it.
68,000. Where's the low? $68,742. And how high did it get, Rob? $71,500 to $72,000. And we made money on that. I, in fact, closed my trade a little early. I was seeing the lower time frame start to pivot. Made 44%. Now, a lot of places, a lot of channels, and to each their own, you got to pay to be in Discord. Ours is free. So go join our Discord. And then once you're in the Discord, make sure you go here and you click to the top. You click on VIP access and then create an account on Bitunix, deposit $100 and you'll get $20, no questions asked. And so I was fairly confident on that one. And again, what we saw was this short trigger wave here on Market Cipher B, but the daily, we printed double green dots on the daily time frame. We saw some bids coming in. The previous candle session had a large volume increase. And the more important thing for me was for figuring out that, or not, well, I guess educatedly guessing that the price was going to go up, was we saw the double green dots on a red candle. And the previous candle, we saw a pretty decent spike in volume and a pretty big green body candle. So I expected price to continue back up after we saw that initial dump to that 68.7K, forming this kind of trend line, which we broke below, and look how perfectly we got rejected. Look how perfectly we got rejected. And we're sitting at 71,000. That is the price. And so guess what? If we jump up here again, I will be shorting Bitcoin at this level. Although I think the tides are kind of changing. I do expect Bitcoin to rally. I do have a poll up here, guys. What will Bitcoin do first? What's the next move, right? Will it go up to 75K first or 65K? We're literally dead even split right now, 50-50 for Bitcoin. And so yeah. Let's take a look at this. Michael Saylor strikes again. He bought another 1,142 Bitcoin. The price he got in at is $78,815. And now they hold almost 715,000 BTC, and their average price is 76K. Now, Michael Saylor has been getting clowned a lot on social media lately. Yeah. Every time he buys, it's like 10,000 over the price once they announce it. Obviously, they buy it in advance and then announce it that Monday. But Rob, would you like to take a shot at Michael Saylor and his quant that is pulling the buy trigger here on these Bitcoins?
Well, the thing with Saylor, thing with strategy is that, as you said, they buy and then they post they tweet about it, whatever it is, post it a week later. And so when you're in a bear market or coming down from all-time highs, then logically you're going to keep getting lower and lower prices. And so right now it looks idiotic. It looks stupid. But at the same time, on the way up, it was the opposite, right? When he was buying Bitcoin at 44,000 and then he would post about it, it was 52,000. Then he would buy at 55,000 and then he would post about it and it would be 62,000. And so I don't think he's dumb. I think it's just the DCA mentality, right? If you DCA in a Bitcoin, you're not going to nail the bottom, right? You're not going to nail the tops. So there you go.
Here's a photograph of Michael Saylor actually buying said Bitcoin. You know, I heard these Bitcoin depots, man, they're no KYC, get a pretty big chunk, send it straight to your wallet. And so, yeah. With that being said, I'm going to send it over to Rob for the markets. Rob, please. Thanks.
All right. Bitcoin's sitting right at that support level of 70,000. The question is, will it hold up? Will it fall? That's my thing. I think that we're going to lose 70,000. That's where I'm at. I'm surprised that we've even bounced up here and held this. And so,
are you confident enough to put in a trade right now? You got your Bitunix open, my friend. All you got to do is press that buy button or that short button.
I don't know if I have any cash loaded up.
You do have cash. You do. It's not a lot, but it's there.
Is it?
Yeah.
$100?
No, it's like 2 something.
Anyways, I'll mess with it later. But I do think that, maybe we consolidate a little bit more. Maybe we trade here for a little bit longer. But I do think, I would say by Wednesday or Thursday, I think we're back down. We're doing something like this again. And so that's my guess.
You think so?
Educated guess, yeah.
Now there's more news that the U.S. government is gonna close again by, I think, this Friday, right? The Department of Homeland Security only has funding through Friday. And if they don't come up with another budget deal, well, then another government shutdown. And if you, let me go to Polymarket real quick. If you go to Polymarket, if I can find U.S. government. There we go. Another U.S. government shutdown by February 14th. God, that's Valentine's Day, damn it. It's supposed to be a day of love. It's going to be a day of blood and misery because the markets might go down. Anyways, Polymarket's got it at a 76% chance that there's another government shutdown. The last one was kind of averted. It was a partial government shutdown. Some people pointed to the price action of Bitcoin. They drew the conclusion that part of it could have been from the government shutdown. We know what happened the first time back in 2025 towards the end of the year when we had that government shutdown and Bitcoin really struggled to make any sort of even the smallest relief rally. And so is this something that's on your radar that you're taking into account when you're trading or when you're looking to make money in the crypto market?
Trading, no, but it will affect it over the long term. The question here is, if you get a government shutdown, is it going to be something likened to what we saw for the last one? Now, keep in mind that the government shutdowns and kind of getting to the final deadline at the last minute, that's very common. It's something that we've just routinely seen nowadays. The one outlier was the last government shutdown. That one just happened to extend out for, what was it, like a month and a half? Or
It was a pretty long time.
Yeah.
40 some odd days.
So it was the longest shutdown we had for duration after the deadline passed. And so are we going to see that again? I mean, who knows? I don't think so. And so also, you had a lot of people that just, after a while, they weren't getting their checks, man. Government officials, the military.
The airport? How about the air traffic controllers? Remember the shit show that was during the holidays?
Yeah, and that slowed down the economy, right?
But the Treasury General Account, the TGA, did grow because the Treasury couldn't spend money. That's a positive, guys. We saved money. Isaiah 13 said, Sin City Crypto works for Israel. They're spreading misinformation. Interesting. Also, Magic. What's up, Magic? I think we're going to start getting Magic back here on Mondays. I think starting next week. Not like the government actually works when it's open. This is true. Which is also a negative because, well, they're the biggest spender. And so they spend money. It's good for all markets. Now, going back to kind of the markets there, Rob, I mentioned in the beginning of the show, Hyperliquid has fared fairly well. You look at the 90-day. Take a look at this. 90-day, and we're just going to go through the top, right? Bitcoin down 30%, ETH down 40%. 33% from Solana, BNB 33, Solana 45, Tron, I guess, is the only one. I wonder why. Where is that? Doge down 42%, ADA 50%, Hyperliquid down only 17% outside of this exchange token and Tron.
You remember 3 weeks ago, you asked me what altcoins I would go with. You told me to pick 3. And then my second pick was Tether. And then you laughed at me. And I was just like, hey, I think the direction.
The man's on fire. Tether's up 0.1%. 0.01%.
It's just the thing is, like, if you're going to buy, like, it's just not a time to accumulate right now. If you want to accumulate Bitcoin, sure. But we don't know what the hell's going on with the altcoin market. It's not
There's
a time.
a few that I'm very confident in, okay? There's a few I'm very confident. One I'm very confident in is Solana. I would buy Solana at $80. I would buy Solana at $40. I would buy Solana at $20, okay?
But why buy it at $80 right now? Like, it's
you don't
going
know,
to go. It's going cheaper, bro.
We don't know that.
I know that.
You do?
Yeah.
Based off of what?
The same way I knew it was going to be cheaper than $100 2 weeks ago when you asked me. And then 2 weeks ago, I told you, I was like, hey, man, I'm not buying Solana until it gets $40. I'm not buying Cardano until it gets 12 cents.
But the idea of DCA is not to try to figure out if it's going lower.
I didn't say I was DCAing. I was just saying that me personally, my strategy, I understand. I've been in this market long enough. The top is in the rear view. There is nothing here. There's nothing on the horizon that says that we're going to push up, right? There's nothing. Why would Bitcoin all of a sudden reverse and go up to 80, 90,000? It's like there's no narrative, bro. The retail's not here. The Fed rates are kind of locked in where they're at. Like, I'm just being honest with you, man. I'm not saying that like, hey, I'm not touching crypto. I'll trade this crap all day. You want DCA into some Bitcoin? Sure. Like, how much lower is Bitcoin going to go? Potentially it could go down to 50,000 or 40,000, but I'm not quite too sure about that. But even if Bitcoin hangs out here at 70,000, goes down to 68, 65, like, sure, you might save a little bit of money buying Bitcoin now if you waited. Compare it versus now, but alts are a huge leverage play, man. And I don't know, man. I'm not DCAing in anything, man. I'm not. DCA is off at the moment.
Here's what I'm kind of buying on dips, okay? I'm buying Canton Network on dips. I'm buying Hyperliquid on dips. I'm buying Solana on dips. I have enough Chainlink for my liking, so I'm good on Chainlink. Although I'm very bullish, I am buying Stellar on dips. There was a big. I'm gonna make a video on this, but there was a big headline. The DTCC. Some of the hardest letters I got to say with this teeth in my mouth. The DTCC came out and they put a job posting up specifically for programmers who work on Soroban and Rust, which is equatable to XLM. So there's a lot of hype around XLM. It's payment. It's in a narrative and a niche that I think everyone can agree. Crypto does make it better. That's the whole holdup with the Clarity Act, is the banks don't want it. Why? Because they would allow really any charter bank to issue dollars, stable coins, and give the retail user 3.5% to 4.5%. And if the banks know if that can happen, if people know money's digital anyways, if I can have this stable coin that is 1-to-1 to the US dollar, that is regulated, that has a account at as a master account at the Fed, that is backed by the government, that is commissioned to launch the stable coin, that is held 1-to-1 to actual US dollars, and I can transact with it, I can pay my bills with it, I can send money to people in an instant for cheap, no wire fees across the world. I can go and eat at a restaurant and pay with it. And I can earn 4% by just leaving it in there versus I can do the same thing, but in the bank and they give me 0.025. Like, who's going to do that? That is a big holdup with the Clarity Act. And so payments make sense. And you look at something like Stellar Lumens, I think sitting at a $5.5 billion market cap, it's down 40% on the 90-day. I think if you can get a 15-cent Stellar, I think that's. But don't you
think? Okay, but here, how do they integrate payments from Stellar? Right? I feel like, I've changed my outlook on it when it comes to payments, because payments are being done by stable coins. Why is Canton and Hyperliquid and why is all of this stuff coming up and now, right? Why are things exploding now? It's because people are using stable coins. Stable coins are the payment network. That's what it is. You don't need Stellar. You don't need XRP. I'm sorry, bro. Like, y'all can be happy, hyped up about it. But the reality of it is, what is the purpose of XRP? To move money internationally between banks. What the hell does stablecoins do? Tether, Circle, all of this crap. That's exactly what it does.
But they're moved on a network.
And what networks are people using?
Well, mainly right now, it's Ethereum and Solana.
Yeah. Now, if the network ends up being XRP and Stellar, then cool. Because right now you have RLUSD, which is a microscopic market cap compared to Tether. And so if your argument is that everyone's going to use RLUSD, that's going to be the default, that's going to be the go-to token, then cool, I'm all about it. Now, with that said, what is Stellar's? What is Stellar stablecoin?
What do you mean?
How is if
it's money being moved on the network? And I think the big thing with Stellar is its speed to finality and its fees. The fees.
But what are they moving? They're moving their own token?
No, they're moving stable coins.
Which stable coins?
USDC, USDT.
On Stellar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think mostly it's USDC though. But they do have that. Stellar does have that. I forget what it's called, but with the Marshall Islands, I think the universal basic income. What is it called? It's called a. I'm having a brain fart here. Anyways, they're trying it out, right? And so, but Stellar's not just a payments play; it's an RWA play as well.
Yeah, I like the RWA aspect. I do like. I'm not against Stellar. I'm not sitting here saying that like, hey, Stellar's stupid. I'm just saying that like from a payments perspective for central banks, I think what we thought previously was that they were going to use networks like Stellar, like XRP or Ripple to move money internationally. And the reality of it is that money is being moved internationally through crypto, but it's not being moved through XRP and through Ripple. It's going through stable coins through the networks that we already know. Solana, Tron, ETH, to a smaller degree, Polygon.
Polygon's an interesting one. I think Polygon, there's a discrepancy between Polygon's usage, Polygon's metrics, Polygon's numbers, and their price. And
but then you got the kill shot. You got Vitalik coming out saying, "Hey, you don't need layer twos.
Clown.
You don't need layer twos."
Vitalik's a unicorn clown. The guy's literally just been selling ETH nonstop. Someone was like, hey man, you're a big DeFi guy, right? Why don't you just borrow against your ETH instead of selling it on the market? Good question. Magic set Stellar to 8 cents. If it gets there, I'll be buying as well. But I think there's some projects that, and here's the beauty of bear markets, guys, okay? Everyone gets very upset and sad. I know it stings. You open your portfolios and your portfolio's down 70, 80%. If I told you the amount of money I'm down over the last 3-4 months, you'd be astounded.
More than Charles Hoskinson?
No one has more than Charles Hoskinson. Okay? But when you look at bear markets, it is so easy because it's like the dust settles. You can see where the little slivers of gold are, right? The tides came away, and I'm so bad at analogies, but I'm going to go for it.
Slivers of gold.
The water came in. It washed out all the debris and sand, and you see what's left. Oh, there's a little nugget of gold there. There's a little nugget of silver or gold, whatever. It's much easier because the bullshit, all the hype, the noise has died down. The whole, we're going to make $1 million by putting $10 in this meme coin. You don't really hear about that. What do you see in here? It's much easier to read data. It's much easier to see where money is flowing, what people are using, the partnerships that are being made. Crypto Twitter is kind of dead. No one's hyping bullshit. It's a lot easier. So when you look at projects like Canton Network, Polygon. Wow. And I want to give a shout out to Crypto Steve-O. He posted a Polygon chart, and he was on the Polygon metric movement to the upside, I think over the last 3 to 4 weeks, and he was spot on. Those numbers are astounding. The money flowing into Polygon, layer 1, not their roll-up layer 2 to ETH, their Polygon proof of stake, their layer 1. And the amount of stablecoin volume has been growing exponentially, yet the price is going down. You look at Canton Network, who they're working with, the partnerships. That price has actually been going up. You see things like Ondo, which we'll talk about Ondo here in a second, and then why they're getting into perpetual futures trading. And then you see the others, like, okay, what projects are not doing anything? Cardano, not really doing anything. You look at on-chain metrics, guys, I'm sorry, it's pretty paltry. Now, that's not to say it can't change and turn around, but as of right now, it's paltry. Avalanche
Avalanche is at $9, dude. It's just
Ripple, big partnerships.
This thing is.
Did you see their Super Bowl ad?
Who?
Avalanche.
No, I didn't even realize.
Because it was a 2-second ad spot. They literally had a guy on skis. Let me pull it up for you. Go ahead.
Huh. No, I was just taking a glance at Avalanche when you were talking about it. It's fading.
I'm sorry.
Fast.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick, Rob, because I found it. Here's the ad, okay? Here it comes.
Avalanche. Can I get a Bud Light?
That was it.
Shut up. That was
swear to
it?
God. Avalanche. That looks like AJ.
Why did they have a QR code up there? Who could have pulled their phone out in time?
No one. Look.
Avalanche. Can I get a
They didn't even buy enough time for the guy to finish saying Avalanche.
That had to have been a mess up, bro.
No, because they reposted it. Bucket list item check, Super Bowl ad. It costs $300,000 per second.
Bro, you could have sent us $100,000. We would have talked about it for an hour.
Not with the same viewership, but hey. Yeah, it was just funny because, bro, like, just buy an extra. If you're gonna spend $600K, spend another $300, and at least get the entire word of your project out. Avalon. Speaking of Avalons, that was my favorite car, Toyota Avalon. My first car I ever bought with my own money. My dad signed the lease, and then I had it repossessed because I didn't pay it. Sorry, Dad.
The Toyota Avalon was
my first car I paid.
Your favorite car?
I loved that car, man. I loved that car. I leased it brand new. It was a limited edition. The trims, and this was back in 2008, 2009, 2007, 8. And man, I love that car so much.
Wow, there's
put in 2008 Toyota Avalon.
There's
that was my car. Oh, bro,
David's
I'm gonna buy one of those.
His dream car here. Was it the hybrid version?
No,
this is a 2013. That one's too nice for you.
No, I told you 2008. It was a 2008 Toyota Avalon.
Oh my God, this was your dream car,
bro. I loved that car, man. Toyota Avalon.
Guys, if you super chat us $145, we can get him another Toyota Avalon. Will it run? Probably not.
Look how beautiful this car is, man. The inside, beautiful. Had CD player, 10-track. It's great. Yeah, I would definitely buy another one of these for sure. Anyways, so Avalanche, you think it's not? Is it not worth it?
It's just
it got to $140 in the last cycle.
It just has no reversal momentum at all. Anytime this thing bounces in the slightest, it just keeps going further down, and it's like nothing is changing on it. It's like there's no hope. I just want a real relief rally. This thing to rally from like $9 to $14 and just hang out there for a minute and don't come back down to $10. If you can do that, then maybe I'll pay another visit to Avalanche. Also, I'd like to just see some community projects, a little buzz. Maybe, it's a strong gaming play. Maybe have like some kind of gaming thing going on with it, something trendy. Right now, I'm just not hearing anything about it.
I want to know from our community, what was your first ever car that you bought with your own money? What was your first ever car you bought with your own money?
I bought my own money?
Yeah. The first car I ever got was my dad gave me a 95 Toyota Camry.
Yeah, my dad gave me a pickup truck. It was
What about the first car you bought personally?
Hyundai Excel. It was like a...
They don't even make those anymore.
Yeah, it was like a 94 maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, bro,
Let's see here.
Dinosaur, man.
Oh, bro, this thing was dope. I had one of these things. Look at this thing.
You had one of those? That was your first car?
Yeah, it had a sunroof on it too, bro.
Sunroof. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
Interesting.
That beauty.
Magic said his first car was a 93 Camry with 220,000 miles. That's very low mileage, man. These things can run up to like 500K. No AC in the rear, all down, but we're back up. That's great. Tradefly said a 91 Saturn. I think my wife's first car was a Saturn. And then Sedenime said 96 Nissan. Bro, you had a 65 El Camino for your first car. Unless you're like born in like 1958 or whatever, then
you know, Doc Williams had a Honda Prelude. Those things were dope back in the day. They came out with a new Prelude.
I don't know, what is that?
You don't know what a Honda Prelude is? They came out with a new one, but the new one they put in the Civic
Honda Prelude?
The Type R. They put the Type R brakes, suspension, the Type R everything except for the engine. And then
this looks kind of dope. This one?
Is that the new one?
2026, yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice, but then they put all performance everything in there, and then they swung and missed on the engine. They just left like a hybrid four-cylinder crap. Yeah, it's got the Civic Type R brakes and suspension.
Was this the old school one?
Yeah, that shit was dope.
That
bro.
did look dope. Okay, I didn't even know what kind of car it was. This looks kind of love it when you can, the headlights would come up. That was yeah. Anyways, enough about cars. Let's talk about some movement. Okay, there's been one kind of niche narrative sector that really hasn't slowed down, and that is perpetual futures. Right? Take a look at this. Hyperliquid has experienced the highest weekly new account creation in the last year. Rob, this is during, I think we've been calling it a bear market, right? 48,000 fresh wallets have joined Hyperliquid. That is the thing, you guys, is trading no matter what. As long as there's volatility, there's going to be traders.
Let me ask you,
bear market, bull market.
Hyperliquid is performing as well as it is, the token. What do you think Hyperliquid is going to do when Bitcoin's over at $100,000 again?
Probably go to $100.
What's the price at now?
32.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah, 3x.
Yeah. Like when I was saying earlier that I'm not buying anything, it was in regards to like the ones that we've been hoping that rallies, right? We've been like, I'm not buying Ethereum right now. I'm not buying XRP. I'm not buying Solana. I'm not buying Dogecoin or Cardano. Get those cheaper. Bitcoin's going to keep going down. However, I don't know if Hyperliquid is going to keep dropping. I mean, this is on the 1 month here, right? Bitcoin putting in.
I'm saying, dude,
Bitcoin's keeps selling off, and so there's two scenarios here. It keeps performing well as Bitcoin drops, or it gets turbocharged, supercharged, and rallies straight vertical when Bitcoin's price goes up. Because why is Hyperliquid? Why is the token going up? Because of people, because of users, because people are getting in on it, people are using it, and because people are using it, as more people use it, the more the token will incur value, and so you're going to onboard more users. People are going to be trading more. People are going to be using it more.
Rob, since the beginning of the year, January 1st, Hyperliquid against Bitcoin is up 68%. Now, from low to high, from the beginning of the year, it's 2x Bitcoin in price. You look at another project like Cat Network, kind of same thing. Let's see if we can pull that chart up. CCBTC. Nope. Okay, this one doesn't have Canton versus Bitcoin, but that's up as well. I mean, Canton's one of the few that's up on the 90-day. And then you look at this. Take a look at this video. Ondo, best known for RWAs. Well, look at what they're getting into. We're going to go ahead and play this video. Ondo Perps.
I am extraordinarily excited to announce Ondo Perps, a unique platform that will provide the best possible execution, liquidity, and capital efficiency to provide synthetic leverage on public equities and commodities. Ondo Perps is the first of its kind and specifically designed to have the best liquidity and capital efficiency for leverage on equities and commodities on-chain. Ondo Perps will have the best execution and capital efficiency of any Perps platform in the market right now. It will enable market makers and traders to use spot as collateral to seamlessly hedge their positions and collect funding and be rewarded for improving liquidity. Traders will also be able to buy spot assets to be long, yet use these assets as collateral to go short a different asset. Buy gold, use it to short silver. Ondo Perps will also build on our experience with global markets to have more tailored Oracle design to deal with corporate actions. To start, Ondo Perps will enable up to 20x leverage on these tickers that are shown on the page behind me. For those of you outside the US and interested in joining the waitlist, go to ondoperps.xyz right now. By integrating the Ondo Perps platform into Ondo Global Markets, we can bridge the liquidity gap that exists for liquidations of tokenized equity collateral and seamlessly offer multi-collateral on the Perps venue. This integration is truly the first of its kind and illustrates the power of composability between the Ondo platforms. It is also why Ondo is uniquely able to offer this.
Rob, looking at what Hyperliquid has done, perpetual futures in general, you look at where Ondo is right now. Let me just go ahead and pull up an Ondo chart real quick.
Number 50 on the market cap list. It's 25 cents. It was at one point just shy of $2. It was just a few months ago and at right around $1. And it has backing by BlackRock. It is a no-brainer RWA play. And I think when you look at the room right now, what are people talking about when it comes to Binance?
What are they talking about?
Yeah, like the community. Like
they're talking about Binance is manipulating the market.
Yeah, man, they're sick of it, bro. They're sick of it. They're sick of the scam wicks. And you know what?
God. Did you see the ETH price action on Binance?
That's what I mean. That's my whole point. How can you confidently trade on the largest exchange internationally, the biggest exchange there is? How can you trade on there if you don't even trust it? I don't trust it.
Yeah, I don't either.
And so at this point, you got to ask yourself, like, if not Binance, then where? Right? Now, you know, we have our favorite exchanges. We got Bitunix, and you know, there's a lot of exchanges that we go to. Now, with that said, are they free of volatility and large moves? And do they have gigantic, deep liquidity? No. But you know what? It's the best product that we can find is like Bitunix currently. But like, you know what? There isn't a Wall Street version of Perps yet, right? Because you can trade on Wall Street and feel comfortable, right?
Well, the only outside of you know, like leverage ETFs or like maybe Robinhood, the only way you can lever up is through options. But the problem is options have something called time decay. And if you're not right on your timing and it doesn't go up or down fast enough.
Well, you can go through the CFTC.
That's what I'm saying.
You can do futures that way. Yeah. But yeah. But my whole point is that there's no options right now. Nobody has it, right? Nobody has a deep liquidity on crypto trading with leverage. It's just not there. That's just the reality. And you could probably jump on the CFTC, get a little bit of leverage, and trade Bitcoin, but you know, that's kind of where it ends, right? And then the beautiful part, though, is that you can take leverage outside the crypto markets, right? And so, on that video you showed, you had Apple and Nvidia, Tesla, yeah. And so, you can combine all of that. And that's where we're gonna go. You think we're gonna have a trading platform for crypto and a trading platform for stocks? Like, no, it's gonna all be in one.
Correct.
Like eventually, yeah. The same thing with the phone, right? Used to have a digital camera, and then used to have a notebook, and then used to, have your email, and then it all just went to your phone. All of it. It all just coalesced in one environment. Now, you got your phone on here, you got everything on there. And so the same thing's going to happen when it comes to investing. You want to invest in stocks, you want to buy gold, you want to hold gold, like you want to, move money, like it's all going to be a one stop, bro. It's just, it always happens. Look at retail. Walmart just kept growing and growing and knocked out all the little guys. Eventually, you just go to one place and you buy everything, right?
True.
Go buy your tires and your T-shirt and your groceries and your video game, and you get it all in one spot. And if you don't get it there, then you go on Amazon. You buy everything there, one location, right? Well, one website. Same thing's going to happen here. Everyone's going to go and use one service. Now, will there be other options? Sure. Can you go to a clothing store at the mall? Yeah, malls are still around, but they're just not as popular anymore. Same thing's going to happen. Crypto trading desks will be out there, but they're just not going to be as popular. No.
Yeah. I think
Ondo's a good buy, dude.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Steve-O said it's just a governance token. Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of utility, or at least the utility is coming, but that doesn't mean people aren't going to speculate on it, right? And I don't know the ins and outs of what holding the governance token gives you outside of the obvious of voting and this and that. But people are going to speculate, and we'll see. We'll see if they have some sort, like Hyperliquid did such a good job of routing their fees and the usage back into the token and to the value. We'll see if Ondo does the same thing. We're done for today's show. No trading show today. We got some stuff we're working on in the studio, but we'll be back tomorrow for the trading show. Potentially 10:30 a.m., maybe 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. We want to thank you all for joining us. Gina, roll the outro. I already said thank you for joining us. So again, thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sin City Crypto. Cash is Cuvée. Yeah. Sin City Crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting